It's a new year and some communities in the Western Cape are already on the back foot, having lost their homes to fires. But here's a bit of a good news story. Community activist Siyabonga Stengana has been on a mission to convert illegal dumping sites into recreational spots around townships in the province. He has managed to convert over 40 dumping sites and aims to do even more. And he joins us virtually from Paarl, down in the Western Cape. Siyabonga, thank you so much for your time and Happy New Year to you. And that's why we really appreciate your time on what should be a day of rest. We are going to be showing pictures of some of the work that you have led your teams to do, and the transition is really amazing and really heartwarming. Talk to us about why you decided to get your hands dirty and start taking this on as a specific community project.
First of all, it was lockdown. You could imagine when lockdown came, it was really a daunting or a stressing time of our lives. It was something that we weren't used to. For some, we got retrenched. The thing that I was doing, for me, was I took time out and thought about it. How about I take this time instead of going out there and stressing about it and crying about it? How about I take this time and I utilize this time productively? That's where the idea came about. And besides that, you could imagine with lockdown, there was a lot of waste going on. So I was trying to help out my community as much as possible. What we did is basically, you mentioned convert illegal dump sites into productive sites. It was not easy pushing this because, you know, with sponsorship, there was no sponsorship and resources were needed. Logistics were needed to make this possible. So for me, it was really a challenging time, but by the grace of God, everything happened and materialized. And I try to incorporate the community as much as possible when it comes to this, because at the end of the day, it's our responsibility. And I actually personally feel that it's my obligation to actually take care of that, of my environment. And you could imagine with lockdown, no one knew that we come from, and we certainly could not afford to have litter in our spaces. So that's where the idea came about. It was like, how about I stand up and make a difference in this? I was blown by the momentum, where everyone liked it and the response. Because I mean, I always believed and emphasized that there's a lot that could be done within the spaces, unlike steam for littering. Because I would actually do a lot of examples when it comes to recreational space. Currently, I'm having the hydro dipping, which is an art form for business, which we try to actually generate something out of it. But we're quite optimistic in the future.
Siyabonga, if I could just come in there, because we are looking at these beautiful pictures that you've sent through to us. Can you give us an idea of where those pictures were taken, and how you went about getting the community on your side to get involved? Because, you know, every day in South Africa, there are communities that are pulling out their hair saying, why are we not getting the services from our municipality to keep our streets as clean as other more leafy suburbs? We also deserve to have our streets being cleaned up. We also deserve to have the big black bins emptied out, and that's why it's overflowing and it looks like it does. And you can't blame people for feeling frustrated and saying, you know what, I'm not going to do it because our office bearers that we've elected into these positions aren't willing to do their jobs. Was it difficult? If you can tell us where these pictures were taken to get the community on board, and what was their reaction after you completed some of your first projects?
Yeah, you could imagine there was a lot of challenges in doing this spaces, because it was actually something that it's so sad that they got used to the rubbish, and you would find that even the municipal themselves was spending millions and millions to get it removed, but they still found themselves with coming back to square one, which was totally sad. But what I did was to actually sort of manipulate my community. Was I would actually make an example in terms of how we could actually utilize the spaces productively or generate our economy. So for me, that's where the fascination comes, and like it actually opened their minds in terms of seeing the bigger picture in this, and actually the space's potential itself.
And now, what has been the reaction from local authorities? Because some people are watching this saying, "Oh, but you're doing the local municipalities' work. You know, what thanks are you getting for that?"
Exactly,
Have they reacted
exactly.
to it? Is there perhaps talks of galvanizing the work that you're doing so you can do it on a larger scale?
Mm,
Or what has been their comment, and
mm.
what's the plans for the next phase?
It's been actually, hence I've got 14 in the Western Cape. Well, actually, I have tried by all means to actually spread this as much as possible. But the challenge is, of course, coming back to the sponsorship. And of course, no one wants to stand up and come do voluntarily work for free. For me, it built me stronger in that, because I mean, at the end of the day, we need to fulfill or actually put bread on the table. So it was really challenging. But they, on a nutshell, they love the artwork actually.
Great. We're going to leave it there. We can only wish you everything of the best. And I'm sure people watching, in fact, very quickly before I let you go, if people are watching and they want to get involved or they want to help, lend a helping hand, Siyabonga, where can they get a hold of you? Is there a website, your Facebook page? Where can they get in touch with you?
Oh yes, thank you very much. I am available on social media and Twitter. I'm Siyabonga Stengana. Same applies on Facebook. I'm Siyabonga Stengana, as well as Instagram. I am Siyabonga Stengana.
Fantastic. Let's hope we get some good out of the even bigger good that you are doing. We thank you for your time and we thank you for your commitment in beautifying very important parts of our community.